This lesson is about bioethics and its relation to human rights. We will cover 5 points: the concept of bioethics, the birth of bioethics, some normative landmarks, the principles of bioethics, and basic dilemmas regarding human rights. As seen during the first lesson of this course, morals is about formulating prescriptive norms and also about passing judgment therefrom, while ethics is the study of the field of morals. But to treat them as synonyms is quite alright. Therefore, bioethics is the moral or ethical regulation, judgment, and study of norms as applied to the realm of biology and medicine. In other words, bioethics deals with the ethical dilemmas coming from the application of science to living beings, particularly humans. Ever since the times of Hippocrates in ancient Greece, and until very recently in the history of humankind, patients and other human subjects have been utterly patronized, that is, treated by doctors and scientists as objects of care and study. But by the beginning of the 1970s, this paradigm was changed by a new one where patients and human subjects in general started to be treated by science as autonomous moral agents, capable of making their own decisions regarding what was good or bad for them. Thus, in 1970, the term bioethics was coined by the American oncologist André Hellegers. In 1964, the World Medical Association issued the Helsinki Declaration banning human experimentation. In 1973, the American Hospital Association drafted the first Patient's Bill of Rights. This charter contained such rights for the patient as respect for their privacy and confidentiality, and the right to be informed of every procedure and treatment so as to give an informed consent to them. In 1997, the European Union signed in Oviedo the Convention for the Protection of Human Rights and Dignity of the Human Being with regard to the application of biology and medicine. Finally, in 2005, UNESCO issued the Universal Declaration of Bioethics and Human Rights. This document reaffirmed such principles as human dignity, autonomy, individual responsibility, informed consent and justice, among others. In their capital work on the subject, in 1979, Tom Beauchamp and James Childress proposed the 4 basic principles underlying the new discipline of bioethics: autonomy, beneficence, non-maleficence, and justice. The importance assigned by those authors to these principles has been labeled in the literature as principalism. In a word, autonomy means the acknowledgement of the patient's moral capacity to make their own decisions about medical care and treatment. Beneficence means the duty of everyone, including doctors and scientists, to actively help those in need of care. Non-maleficence is a somewhat reverse version of beneficence. It means the fundamental duty not to commit any harm, which has been part of medical professional codes since Hippocrates. Finally, justice has to do with the fair distribution of public health benefits and resources so as to tend properly to those in most need. Since human rights are defined as those faculties and liberties bestowed to every human being as such, this begs the obvious question: who is a human being? Since when he or she is considered as such, and until when? Indeed, one of the most vexing issues in the current bioethical debate is the discussion on the beginning of human life, and therefore the entitlement to human rights. The debate regarding the beginning of human life relates to abortion and contraception. For those who hold that human life begins since the conception, that is, since the fertilization of an egg by a spermatozoid, abortion is murder. Some oppose even contraception. Others think that human life does not begin until the implantation of the fertilized egg into the womb of the mother. Yet, others believe that human life begins with the early development of the neurological system or of the brain functions. For them, abortion is not morally questionable before a certain time of pregnancy has elapsed. There are even those who think that the reproductive rights of the mother trump those of the unborn child, even if it were to be considered a human person, so they defend an unrestricted right to abort. At the other end of the line, there is the debate regarding the ending of human life and of human rights entitlement thereof. There are some who consider that human life ends when all and every biological functions have ceased to exist. But there are also others who think that it suffices with the demise of brain functions to declare someone dead, in order to authorize organ donation while organs are still transferable. There are other issues related to the end of life, including euthanasia, that is, assisting a consenting, incurable, terminal patient to die. While human beings alone are entitled to human rights, there are some who have questioned this discrimination against other sentient living beings, calling it speciesism. Thus, anti-speciesists, such as animalists, fight for the acknowledgement of equal levels of protection for all sentient beings, that is, for all beings capable of feeling, having sensations, and suffering, whether human or animal. On the same or similar grounds, many oppose animal experimentation by medical research laboratories. Some oppose it even if it does not cause pain.
In the name of our team, I would like to thank you for having accompanied us throughout this course. We hope you have learned basic notions on human rights and you have become familiar with some of the main challenges in this area. We also hope we can meet again next year in 2015 when we will launch our second MOOC course, this time in Spanish, on transparency and anti-corruption. You can now obtain a free virtual certificate from Udemy. If you would also like to obtain a paid certificate from the University Diego Portales, please visit our website moocchile.com and follow the instructions to do so. Thank you and farewell.